Welcome to the Social Club on Ball Street with me, Ped, your host.
With the most or without the most?
Well, that's
with the
minimum, with the minimum required, with the minimum required. I am joined by the Red Men. They look like they're mourning jointly.
Yeah.
There's something happened I don't know about. A goldfish or something.
Yeah, it's International Week, mate.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
What are we talking about?
Funnily enough,
enough, I am joined by the Red Men, Chris Pajak.
And
Paul, of course, Paul Machin over there.
the Paul Machin.
The Paul Machin on Twitter because...
or the, if you really
Did someone else get that before you on Twitter?
There is a Paul Machin on Twitter, I think that's what it is. No, I don't know, actually, there probably is. I didn't want just Paul Machin, I wanted to make the distinction.
You wanted to make the distinction. The
And
Paul Machin.
or the... You went with the...
Well, yeah, Paul Machin
No-
just
no-
feels a bit
no
like I'm
underscore.
underselling myself, like, you
No
know.
underscore
Or Paul
or anything.
Machin, 83, or Paul Machin, 99, or whatever.
Well, if they've got numbers, aren't they normally like bots?
Or that you're the 99th person to have that name.
I don't know.
It's
Rather
just
than the year
lazy
you
as far
were
as
born
I
in.
maybe so.
I don't-
That's what people do.
I think it is.
I don't
think
know
it's
Just
the-
lazy.
tie every number afterwards
Yeah.
at 83.
I don't know if
sounds-
there's 6 other Peds. I didn't look. I just went with Ped 7.
Why 7?
Because that was my number when I played football. It's the number I liked.
Oh well.
Because
You never struck me as a number 7.
I was a winger.
I've seen you play as a 5 and you didn't show any 7 like skills.
Listen, you've got to play the position, haven't you, Ped?
You just got to play the position and what comes with it. If you have to... if you have
Seven's
to
Chris's number.
listen,
Seven's my number as well.
listen, if you've got to just kick Spencer up in the air, you've just got to kick Spencer up in the air. Do you know what I mean? We're talking about England.
Paul 12.
13. Unlucky for some, including myself.
Thinks he's German. We're talking about England. They obviously played on Friday night. They drew with Germany 0-0. Obviously, much changed side. I didn't watch it. But the question is the dream of winning the World Cup really an impossible dream? I know we get to this point every 4 years and we try and underplay it, or certainly some people do. And then by underplaying, then suddenly you go, well, actually, have they got a chance? But what I've noticed recently from the internationals is I can't see an outstanding candidate for the World Cup. Normally around this time, one appears and you think, oh, they are the clear favourites. But I personally, and you might have different opinions on this, I can't see an outstanding candidate. And I'm just thinking...
Germany.
It's Germany. Germany, the
They've
outstanding candidate.
won all 10 of their games.
I still don't think they're an outstanding... I honestly don't. I think it was an easy group. I think they pissed it, fair enough. But I still don't think they're an outstanding candidate. I don't think that means England have got a better chance. I just think, could England form a unit that could get them maybe further than what people think? Paul Machin.
Okay, so this was the conversation we had prior to this. Is more that because I think you were a little bit wrong on that at the start of that, on just in how we hype it or underhype it. I think it's been overhyped for a number of years, and then Roy Hodgson kind of lowered the bar, and I think everyone thought that was like, he's going to temper expectations, going to allow England to more effectively manoeuvre with less pressure, whereas it was just a realistic assessment of England.
Yeah.
And I think Southgate's come in, and I think it's made people reassess where England are. But I think now people are underhyping it because the reaction to that the team they put out against Germany, I thought was disgusting. And this is coming from me, who has been very vocal on much I don't really like England or care about England. I love the notion of a manager having the balls to go and try a whole new bunch of players to see what sticks. And look, maybe nothing will come of it, but and it is a different world from the golden generation of the mid-noughties, when I think the team largely picked itself. We don't have that level of quality, I think, anymore.
That might have been the problem with the golden generation.
But that's exactly, and that's why I think we should be a bit calmer about all these things. But I think it's gone too far the other way. I think that people are genuinely fearing that they're going to get absolutely battered because people don't. You see the social club South. Look, they've got defaults, haven't they?
Well, from the South.
But they love England, and which is one of them. But even there, I hear Rory going on about it, and James, and I don't think they have any optimism with this current manager. Whereas I'm not totally down in the dumps about it. I think England have got enough quality just about, if they get a good game plan, to cause problems. Whether they win the World Cup, though, I'm not sure.
I don't think I don't think it'll be a realistic aim for them this time around. I think the teams that generally do well in World Cups and Euros and stuff get there a couple of times first. Do you know what I mean? Like they maybe get to the final and then they might win it the next time around, or they get to the semis and stuff like that. So for me right now, it's about making sure these players get experience of getting through to those crucial games. You know, the ones like the quarterfinals, the semi-finals. 2022 is probably a good shout with the way that the unders have been performing. You know, 3 times they've won competitions this season alone. Now you saw it. Football happens in cycles, especially international football. You saw France do it, you've seen Spain do it, you've seen Germany do it, and we're on the right course now.
Is that what gives Gareth Southgate more ammunition? Is that he can bring those kids up, and as long as he's bringing some of those kids up from the under-21s, from the teams, the under-20s, maybe even not saying bring the under-17s, but just move everyone up one. That's going to help him out.
The difficulty there, and why England may struggle at 2022 and stuff like that, is because will those players get game time in top leagues? That's the difference right now. You can look, and I did look at it, you look at the minutes played in the Premier League, or the Germans, unders playing in the Bundesliga and stuff like that. Our unders are playing half the minutes in the top flight leagues than the Germans or the Spanish or the Italians. That's the problem. So it's making sure that those players get experience in Premier League sides, or if it's not Premier League sides, you know, other leagues around Europe. That's the problem.
It would be amazing because to bring a core group of players up. Like, that's the simple answer to me, because I think you can start to see that everyone's a bit sceptical about the St George's Park stuff. Look, Southgate had a big role in that as well. Let's not forget. And you know, everyone thought, oh, this is going to be really underwhelming. In particular, Roy Hodgson was kind of setting the tone for some stuff. But it would be lovely to just go, right, here's 5 or 6 come through at once, so because what they've got that England lack. And it's taking it back to the Premier League, Liverpool being an example of it, and you know, teams that you need experience of winning. It helps with the pressure of getting to pressure-filled situations, like, you know, going the full stretch in a Premier League season or whatever. It would be nice to be able to bring a core of these lads up, because they'll have more experience of pressure, albeit, you know, it's not quite a comparable level, but you know, a World Cup final is a World Cup final. It's your World Cup final for your level. That's as much pressure as you can have at that level. It'd be great, but you're right, that's going to be a major stumbling block, because we're going to see loads of these players fall between the cracks. Because is there any pressure at Man United to give more games to these lads? Look at Chelsea. Chelsea had Tammy Abraham win it earlier on in the summer, and technically Dom Solanke would have been their player if they'd not fucked it and moved to Liverpool.
Let me just, I just want to mention someone on that. This sort of pits us against each other. He has brought some players into the Brazil fixture. One of them is Solanke, and one of them he's left out is Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's played nearly every single game, or has played every part of every single game for Everton this season, scoring 5 goals. I mean, Solanke, I think he scored in the League Cup, has he? Or
no, he started. Okay. He started 1 game.
Well, that's fair enough. I'm not criticising. I know he's a good young player.
Do you think?
But is that half the problem? Is that you've got a player there? You've got 2 players there. Let me just say, one has played nearly a part in not only Premier League games but also Europa League games. Scored goals, and yet.
Did he get called? How old is he now? Because he went to that. He won the World Cup.
But he scored the win in the World Cup. He plays for the under-21s.
Is he actually? Did he get a call up for the under-21s?
He's in the under-21s.
So, yeah, you're right. That is.
So I just find that strange. And there's 2 players there. One is getting Premier League action, and I know.
Do you think he's good enough to play for England?
I don't think he is good enough to play for England, but I don't think that's necessarily the point. If that makes sense. If you would think that. On what you've just said there, Chris, if there's an example of an issue, you've got a kid there with maybe all the talent in the world who's not getting into a Liverpool side because the players are better.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin plays for Everton because we don't have any strikers.
Yeah.
But if one's getting the experience of playing in Europe and playing in the Premier League, you would think that he would at least get the same opportunity.
It makes sense given the Tammy Abrams got the nod, he got the call up straight away. See Joe Gomez getting the call up, and you don't bat an eyelid at them because, again, you're right, they're playing Premier League footy. You know, I think it's an interesting show.
It could be a type of striker thing, couldn't it? You know.
Oh yeah.
Solanke might fit what Southgate wants to do more so than Calvert-Lewin.
But isn't that the carrot though? Surely, if you are saying to these players, you're young, you're English, you're playing every week.
Yes, but I think that's pertinent today, because what type of player is Calvert-Lewin? He's pace, isn't he? He's just pacing behind. He's more
of a target man.
Do you think he's a target man?
He is a target man.
He plays off
the left as
I
well.
was going to say my take of him was more he was more a wide player converted centrally more than the other way.
He's more a central player converted wide.
Because Solanke makes sense to me in regards to. I think England need a plan B proper target man, and I think Solanke's got the physique for it. Yeah, but if you've got Jamie Vardy and you're going to take...
No, but hang on a minute. If he's got a guy, and he might think Dom Solanke's just a better player, right? And if he thinks Dom Solanke's a better player, then he might just want to have a look at him.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because he's not seen him in the Premier League.
But it's a friendly against Brazil, where you could have called up both of them. It wouldn't have been an issue. So that's where I just think... And again, it just happens to be those two players. But I just think isn't this always our downfall, that we have actually got a player there who's playing week in and week out in a Premier League team, and he's not getting that call up, and there's a kid who, for whatever reason, hasn't played because the players are better.
No, I think that's a good point.
Whether those be Chelsea players, Arsenal players, whoever, isn't that always our problem?
But Southgate knows. Southgate implemented this stuff at St George's Park, where every single week all the managers from all the unders and him sit down and do a strategy plan. Every single week they sit down and do a meeting. So he'll have spoken to all the different managers of all the different levels, and he'll have coached some of these players as well, remember, for the unders from a couple of years ago. So he'll have a better idea of what these players are. I would agree with you on the surface that there's a guy there playing Premier League and there's a guy who's not. I'd personally take the Calvert-Lewin option, but
I think it's a system thing, because there's no point in having three guys in your squad who all do the same job, because let's say you played 4-3-3 and you've got Jamie Vardy's in that squad already as an example. Let's just say he's a poor man's Vardy substitute in that regard as an example. Again, what if you've got a couple and you've got Tammy Abraham as well and you want to have another look at him? You're not seeing anything. Maybe, like I say, it's probably just that he considers it's Abraham or Calvert-Lewin. And he thinks Solanke, it's a Solanke or Andy Carroll, Crouch, you know what I mean? Maybe thinks along those lines.
I just think the character's there, though. If you've got the character and you're saying to players, play week in and week out, and you're asking players maybe, like Abraham, to go on loan or whatever, then maybe that character there for a friendly, just to go and play with the first team and just have that, just to see them a bit. I just find that slightly strange.
I think what he's done is a step in the right direction. It's not perfect, is it? But just getting back to your point again, now about the teams around. Just from looking through how the teams performed in qualification, the only teams that are stand out for me, and I think the team that is the most stand out, probably Germany, absolutely, as you say, because in terms of how they've gone about qualifying.
It's the goals.
Exactly. They've just scored. They're averaging over 4 goals a game in qualification, which is when you consider that. Look who England had in their qualification group, and they're scoring half as many goals.
And the strikers are not necessarily any.
Well, Germany don't have.
Sandro
Wagner scored 5 goals in qualification. I think Thomas Muller's got 5 as well. Whereas you look at like Lewandowski scored like 16 in qualification.
Got the record, didn't he?
Exactly. Which again can go one way to prove either do you actually need a guy who scores a million goals to do what you do, but you don't have that talismanic guy who's going to score, who's going to get the...
in that
you don't have like a Miroslav Klose who's going to get the golden boot at the tournament by the looks of it, which could be where they fall down. Belgium have smashed it in qualification as they're supposed to again, but who knows whether Bobby Martinez is going to blow his load when it gets to a major tournament. But they've done what you're meant to do. They've got Lukaku who's scoring, who's got a
what if he has a 4-game goals out?
What if? We'll
discuss
that later today.
What would happen?
What would happen? Like, what if they own Chris? But other than that, Portugal have done okay. I think they came. But Switzerland came joint on points. Then we saw Switzerland against Ireland. Not exactly, not exactly incredible.
The difficulty for the European sides, and why I like a lot of the South American sides again, is that their qualifying is just different, isn't it? They put 12 of them in a group. So Brazil get to play Argentina, get to play Chile, get to play Uruguay, and they all go at it. There's a different level of competition that these teams are facing just in qualification, whereas England get fucking 5 teams who are essentially shit and get told to go and beat them. We come up against a Germany and a Brazil, and we completely change it. Both sides do for the kids. Whereas what you actually need, and what as a Liverpool fan I'd fucking hate, is a competitive game against top opposition.
This is where hopefully this UEFA League, where that comes in. Where I know a lot of
listen,
people...
I want to do this as a separate
No, no,
day,
not...
but I think that is a massive. I think they've totally misunderstood the complaints about football during the season. It's not football complaints about football during the season. They're not because it's not competitive. It's because it's just shit. They go, oh, we'll give you more competitive games. No, we just don't want to have games during the season. Fuck you.
It's a TV thing.
The teams, the outstanding candidates are Brazil and Germany, as you would expect. But the problem is with both of those is Brazil for a start. It's in Russia. So how are they going to handle?
Loads of Brazilian players playing Russia.
Well, they do, but you know, but again, I know it's Europe, isn't it? It's technically, you know, so
one
South Americans don't fare as well.
One end's Europe, the other end.
So exactly, but you know what I mean. Like the South Americans struggle in European tournaments, and then so again it's Germany, and then I think beyond that, France again. Do they have the goal scorer? Griezmann's not scored low. He's not massively prolific in terms of goals. And you go Giroud past that. Mbappe, this could be the tournament where it just clicks for him, and he's amazing.
He said that like he's played in loads of tournaments.
No, but you know what I mean. But you know how France always take a glut of amazing strikers to the tournament, and they either totally and utterly flop or someone emerges.
No one's got a better squad than France. Nobody's got a better squad. But they struggle to score goals. You know, the chances they make, it's all great, and they get to the box and it sort of just falls to bits. But
France, I think, if you looked at it pure in terms of how they performed in qualification, France look underwhelming, but I think they've had the tougher of the groups. You know, Sweden and Holland. I know Holland always falls a bit on alternate tournaments, don't they? But you know, that's still a tough group that I thought and they've done okay. They've topped the group, haven't they? They've come out of it. But I think getting back to your point though, I think England have got the goal scorer in Harry Kane. I think they've got the creative players behind in the likes of Dele Alli and Lallana, and then you can throw Sterling's having the season of his life so far on the back of a pretty good season, even though no one recognises it from last year. They've got a couple of young, exciting talents that they could throw in if needs be, like a Harry Winks or a Tom Davies or whatever, who could surprise one or two by being combative and being totally up for it. If they give it to the gloves to Pickford, I think they've got a good goalkeeper.
They should give the gloves, and that's not just being biased. He's much better.
They've got great fullbacks. They've got as good as anything in world football in terms of fullbacks. It's just have they got the centre-back pairing, but do you need to have a world-class centre-back pairing? I don't know. I don't think so.
We've not conceded many goals already. I mean, we conceded 3, I think, in qualification. Germany conceded 4
to be expected,
or something like that.
But
you've still got to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
There are teams like...
But you'd be shocked if they conceded more goals
Argentina have conceded more than, I think, games played.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To be fair, the back four, when you think about it, if Stones keeps going the way he's going, and then you've got someone next to him like Cahill, that's not a bad centre-back partnership, is it, really? You can get, I mean, Stone, I said it 2 years ago, I think Stones is going to end up absolutely world-class, and I think everything he's doing this season is getting there, and this could be the World Cup, that sort of, you know, stamp, a little bit like Rio Ferdinand 2002.
The other thing is, what he said at the start of it, I think is the best point, Harry Kane. That's the guy. The guy. Think back to Euro 96 when it was in England and Alan Shearer just scored a few goals. They're the ones that if he gets a goal in 3 games, you're probably through the groups, and then if you can just get another couple of goals, you'd end up in the quarters or the semis. Yeah. That's the real key for it, because everything else is okay.
Yeah, here's the thing. England, provided England don't try to beat Brazil or Spain or whatever, and they have a reasonable game plan. They've got talented players, and I go back again. I think the point we were having prior to filming, I don't think they'll win. I don't think the World Cup's not impossible. It's massively unlikely. Just seeding wise, England are meant to get to the quarters of World Cups. That's where they're seeded to get to.
I think they're lower than that.
They might
I
even
think
be
they're
now.
13th now in the FIFA rankings.
They might even be, and that's the thing. But again, the point you raised, which I thought was interesting, is that I don't think, other than the obvious ones, I don't think any nation has got the perfect team. And England is probably slightly less perfect in some regard. But look, if Portugal have taught anything from the Euros, well, exactly. You know, they got Cristiano Ronaldo, and then you can name a couple of other players.
And they're solid at the back, or they were solid at the back in the tournament. It's going to be interesting because we mentioned Brazil, Argentina. They've got the world's best player, but the defence is terrible. So England, for me, at the moment, should get to the semis. There you go, I just said it.
Is that positivity about England coming from the 3 of us?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That's weird.
If you like that, give the video a thumbs up.
that's why you should look from the outside in.
Yeah.
Right?
Not watch any of the games.
Yeah, not watch any of the
and
games.
then make a judgment call like the
Just look from the
semis.
outside in and see what. Just look at Twitter and look at short videos, and that's it. Don't watch games. That ruins it.
Until the World Cup.
Watch
And then
all-
call them absolute
all the games.
knobheads
Yeah.
when they fail. That's what it's like to be
You
an
can
England
look
fan,
forward
right?
to that here on Ball Street. World Cup dailies.
Social Club South crying into their pints in pubs, and we'll be so there's a great video, one of the second or third biggest video on Ball Street is them all crying, losing to Iceland. Me and you were in the office playing Pro Evo, playing England Iceland on Pro Evo, and while that game was on a screen to the side of us.
There you have it. Let us know your thoughts. Can England be the dark horses? That's what we're really saying, isn't it? Of the World Cup next year. And if not, who will win it? Look out for more great Ball Street videos coming up from the Social Club. We'll see you later.